wear the stretchy pants, you know, for the jeans. I wear stretchy pants. Like, they're rude to me. It's, you know, all this stuff on my, you know, my phone, all this stuff in my business, you know. One of the main sources of the militia and the UFOs, they get a lot of their information from this weather ball right here. At night, they go around with torches and white robes, and they pray to the weather ball. We're moving down this way. It's been happening for several years. Around October time, they do like a prayer meeting around the weather ball. They carry these torches and wear these white robes, and they praise the weather ball. And they have to go down the road. There's like a cult group kind of thing, and they have to turn right on this road. This is real important to the cult. It's a word called Otinger. It's a demon and one of the 9th levels of hell. His name is Otinger. He's one of the ones that opens the door and lets you in so that you can peer and look at Satan. Look how pretty, he says. Look how pretty. And all those that are saved have a bubble that goes over them, kind of like Virgil in Dante's Inferno, and they can't be touched by the enemy. And then he says through the bubble, you'll watch me feast. You'll watch me feast. And there's certain times set in hell where all the people that are being punished, they have to set everything down, all their tools, and they have to look straight up into heaven and watch the saints feast. That goes on for a long time. It creates pain. Because if you are of Satan, you don't want me to eat. You don't want me to feast. You want me to starve. Those are Satan's people. And they sit in hell, in the 9th gate of hell. They look up and they watch. They'll watch me feast. They'll watch me eat with my Messiah. And you can tell those that will burn, because they'll be the ones starving, because they'll be practicing starving in hell. Because you starve when you're in hell. And you look up and you watch those feast with the Messiah at the table. So here at this time, they'll starve them, and they'll starve other people. They'll starve the kids. They'll starve everybody they can, because they think it's right, but really they're just practicing for hell. And they won't have a protective bubble. We'll be able to go by them and say, you'll watch me feast. That's actually, we thought that was haunted when we were kids. That thing has been there for a very long time. We used to go by on 10 speeds. That horse, his ancestor horse, who was older, another horse that was kind of like the father of that horse and the father of that horse. He, one time when I went by on the bicycle, he went, he did that knee thing with that horse's kneeing. And I smiled and I waved. I said, hi, horse. And then I pedaled on my 10 speed. One of the gates to hell, there's certain areas on the planet where there's actually portal wells, or there are places that you can go to hell. One of them is in Gambier, Ohio, by Kenyon College. So when you jog over that, you can feel the ghost, the lost ghost. And there's an opening. It's kind of like a portal or a gateway to hell. There's some in Los Angeles and Hollywood too. This is one of the areas where there's a portal that goes. You can feel it. You can feel the ghost and screaming out. And the portal actually is connected right to hell. It'll take you right into hell. There's certain areas all over Earth, certain areas that lead past the middle ground, the middle center of where the Earth is, and you can go right into hell as a spirit. You have to travel through this great river. Now, in parts of Hollywood, you want to go by Mulholland Drive. That's one of the main gates to hell. So even if you're in Europe or anything like that, and you want to go to hell, your spirit will go there where Mulholland Drive is, not too far from David Lynch's house, and you'll go straight to hell there. Now, this area too has some portals of hell too. A lot of the people will come here in white robes, and they'll pray and hum, and they'll listen to my bass and my guitar, the beauty of it all, and will praise. And I will say in my voice, you will watch me feast. You will watch me feast. You will watch me feast. I was meant to be here at this moment because they're covering the address to put fear in me. See? The address is covered. One of the gates of hell will be this color and this design. You'll be able to go underneath. Fear over here. You can hear the sound. Part of the seance. Cicadas, 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 cicadas. Oh dear. They're eager to eat that chicken. There'll be a giant swan in front of one of the gates, very similar to that swan, almost exactly like it. And when you enter hell, you'll pass that swan. The swan will look at you and talk to you. It'll say, welcome, you are now in hell. You will see the face of Satan, all three faces. Inside one of the mouths is Cassius, who betrayed country. Inside the other mouth is Brutus, ite Brute, you betrayed your brother. And in the center of Satan's face will be Judas Iscariot, and his head will be inside the mouth of Satan. And you'll hear that noise right there. It'll go ding ding, and the voice will say, Judas betrayed the Messiah, and his face will not be seen. And Jesus will be in heaven. Then we'll travel upward into earth again, and then further upward into heaven, where we'll join the feast. And God will say, did you see? And you will say, yes, I saw. And then he will say, feast. Then you will look down one last time and say, you will watch me feast. You will watch me feast. Listen to the bass. See, there's a lot of people in this country that worship Satan. That's part of that flag right there. The White House worships Satan. See the flag? A lot of people worship Satan. Biden, Kamala Harris. A lot of people are Satan worshipers. They have the right to be. But when God puts them into the eternal flame of hell, and they burn in hell for all of eternity, until they no longer exist, he will say to them, you had your chance to know me. You chose the highland. And that's what he means by hell, the highland. Also the broad way. You chose the broad way. You did not choose the narrow path. You do not know me, because there's only one narrow path. And that's to his heart and to the door, which he is the way and only the way. He will say, you read too much John Bunyan and followed too much law. You don't know me. You only know the law. And then he'll send you past the swan and to the depths where the frogs will ribbit. And you'll hear the voices of the saints say, you will watch me feast. And you will hear the voices of the saints say, you'll watch me feast. Go. Go. You want me, you want me, you want me. Go. Wonder how this guy's social security is working out for him. The guy that owns a house is hiring day workers to work in his yard. Look, it says JC Roofing, like Jesus Christ, so I was telling the truth. See, when your father eats all your food and starves you, you go crazy. So he goes to Wesleyan, you know, my guitar's over there. He starts playing my guitar, eating all my food, playing my guitar. He tries to take me to charter and all this stuff. Of course I'm gonna go fucking crazy because I didn't have any food. He was a good boy. Good boy. So a really good guitar player that owns a guitar studio. He lived right over here. And his name was Verlo. One of my best friends. His dad was Native American. I don't know what tribe. I'm Apache, but he lived right there. They moved all this and put gates up and stuff. He had a pool. One time he almost drowned in his pool. He'd float around in his pool real weird, like not upside down, but like he jumped off the diving board and hit his head really hard. But right over there, we had like Indian guides in this area. We didn't like the Boy Scouts because the Boy Scouts were molesting people, so we joined the Indian guides that was run by Native Americans. Boy Scouts were really cruel. My dad supports the Boy Scouts because he supports all perversion. That's why he had pornography in the house when I was growing up. He had pornography. So did my stepdad. They support perversion. So the Boy Scouts are in a lot of trouble right now. But the Indian Guides were actually really good. They supported God's way and the truth. Be careful about the Boy Scouts. See, all my dad has to do, since he didn't have to die in Vietnam, he could coast around here in this area. He just has to coast till the very end, till his last breath, till he finally decides to stop eating and finally decides to stop drinking water. And he has to go into the hospice and lay down and die like Papa. But see, with my band, I'm going to coast too. I'm going to coast too. Is this on? I'm going to coast with my band. I'm just going to coast through it. Just like he coasted through it. Play this note, play that note, make up that lyric. Just gonna coast through it. And just like the fire department, we're gonna roll. Beware of the dogs, because the dogs will die.